Welcome back. Today is Giving Tuesday, which is a national movement for charity. But even if you can't donate today, be thinking about it, because starting Friday is Keep Austin Generous Week, supporting local nonprofits. And joining me today is Leo Ramirez. He's the chairman of the organization to talk about this year's push. Thank you for being here this afternoon.
Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it.
Talk a little bit about how Keep Austin Generous Week works.
So Keep Austin Generous Week is a celebration of generosity in Austin. A couple years ago, I started to really get into nonprofits and found out that Austin is not such a good giver in general, per capita.
Because we have a lot of nonprofits.
Exactly. I mean, we have the highest per capita rate of nonprofits in the nation. The area has over 6,000 organizations. Austin alone has over 4,400. When you look at per capita giving in the U.S., there are about 390 metro areas in the United States. We're ranked 246.
Is that right?
In per capita giving, and of the 50 largest cities in the U.S., we're ranked number 33. So we're ranked number 1 in everything, it seems.
Yep.
But when it comes to charitable giving, we got a little ways to go.
Got to boost that one a little bit.
So Keep Austin Generous Week is really about elevating giving in Austin to make us the number 1 giving community in the nation, so that we can be ranked in this number 1 in this other area. It's a tall order, but...
So it goes from Friday to next Friday,
Correct.
The following Friday.
Correct.
And how does it work? Do you kind of pool resources into a general fund, or can you pick an individual nonprofit if you're donating?
So the really cool thing about Keep Austin Generous is that all you have to do to participate is go do something. Just go out and do something, right?
Sounds
Just
simple.
get your family together, go feed the homeless, go walk animals, go clean up a park, go to the Trail of Lights, because they're raising money to keep that tradition going.
Right.
Go volunteer for your favorite organization. If you work with an employer that has a food drive, or they're raising money for flood relief in Southeast Austin, go do that, right? So we actually, as a movement, we're much like Keep Austin Weird, which is all about keeping business local.
Right.
So we're about just celebrating generosity in all its forms, all ages, all income levels. It's really about embracing everybody. So we, as Keep Austin Generous, do have a couple of our own activities that are going on to kind of help inspire some of that generosity to happen throughout the week.
Yeah.
We have an opening party at Eisenhower's on Friday, this Friday, from 5 to 7. And then on the 13th, the following Friday, we have a party at Mexicarte Museum, and that'll kind of close out the week of celebration. Now,
this is the second year for the Keep Austin Generous Week. Is there anything you learned from last year's week that can help this year?
A lot, actually. As an entrepreneur, I want the world the first time around.
Right.
And of course, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And so we tried to do a little too much last year. And I think by really simplifying the message and saying we're all about celebrating generosity in all its forms and using that to inspire more generosity in the community, that kind of opens it up to anyone to dream, what would I do? What would I do to give back? And that's what we want to happen here, because I think if all of us did just our little part, we could really make a big impact. My nonprofit, Mini Donations, for example, discovered a couple years ago that if everyone in Austin rounded up every purchase they made to the nearest dollar, and then donated the difference to charity, one weekend would generate $5 million.
That's a fascinating figure. I remember that from last year. And this is the season to do it, right?
Yes,
this is the season for giving. How can people participate?
So I would go to keepaustingenerous.org, and you can get information on events that are going on in the community. One of the things, back to your previous question, that we learned is that it's really hard to find nonprofit-themed events and activities in the community. So we're starting a community calendar on keepaustingenerous.org, which brings all of those events and activities to one place. So if you ask yourself, I want to go to a party, but I want this party to benefit charity in some way, we want you to go to keepaustingenerous.org to find out more.
Leo Ramirez with Keep Austin Generous, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks, Brian.
Again, it starts Friday and goes to the next Friday.
Correct.
All right. We'll be right back.